Welcome to Pussy Protagonist. I'm your host, Isabel. This is the podcast show where we discuss about sex, sexuality, sexual desire through personal stories and experience. Wow, we've made it to episode 3. I can't believe it. And thanks again for, keep staying with us. Today's topic is going to be a little bit different, I think, comparing to the ones that we had. For the past 2 episodes, we've been surrounded with the topic more on like the sex side. And today I want to focus more on like the sexuality and self-explorations. So I'm a college student right now, and I go to a school where sexuality is very fluid, very open. Everyone is they're able to explore whatever they want. And I wanted to specifically sort of like look at on what it's like to be bi, what it's like to be pan, or like whatever you want to define your sexuality in a college setting. And so today I have obviously another good friend of mine to talk about what is it like to be a bisexual woman in a college setting. So hi.
Hello.
Hi, Maria. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, this is so funny because if my family watches this, surprise, you were right. I'm a big gay bitch. No, I'm kidding. Surprise, you were right. All those times you joked about me being a lesbian because I was good at soccer. You were right. I do like girls in some capacity. Mm-hmm. I definitely identify as pansexual. Mm-hmm. I don't really identify with bisexuality because that I reject the binary, let's just say that. Okay. And I think before we start, I think it's really good to say that
yeah, exactly,
everybody defines their sexuality by themselves. Sexuality is self-defined, mm-hmm. and what I may say may not be what you agree with about mm-hmm. sexuality and your views, and that's really just on you. As long as you're not spreading hate, I think you really have the opportunity to define that for yourself.
Yeah. So, and I'm really glad that you touched upon that, is that everyone has their own definitions about what even is, from your perspective, I want to ask, what even is bi, or what even is pen?
So I actually came across this revelation, I guess you could say, the other day. I was bisexual, bi means two. Mm-hmm. So I reject the binary personally. Although I identify as she, her, hers, I identify as a woman. My gender is woman. I obviously don't think that that's the only, you can't just be one or the other, male or female, mm-hmm. whatever. Mm-hmm. So I honestly reject the binary. I think you can be whatever you feel is fit. They, them, theirs. We have friends that identify with that pronoun, and obviously we're all, it's normal, it's good with us. We don't judge. Mm-hmm. But I think using the term bisexual is perpetuating the binary. Right. You can only be attracted to men and women, mm-hmm. male identifying and female identifying. Exactly. Whereas I don't think that's accurate for me. I mm-hmm. think if someone came up to me and I was attracted to them and they said I use they, them, theirs, mm-hmm. I wouldn't be I can't because I'm bisexual. It's not,
I see.
You know what I mean? Because that's not part of the binary.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. I just had that revelation the other day, and I was well, I guess I'm not bisexual then. I guess I'm pansexual. Right. I had to look it up because I didn't know what pansexuality really was. But then when it comes in terms of categorizing sexuality,
yeah, I definitely think just because, and I think it comes from the good perspective of it's straight people and gay people, then now we have, and I like how, we are giving people more option. But also, like you said,
I don't fuck with a label.
Is it, maybe we are also limiting people's.
You're limiting people by, honestly, to me, see, again, this is by my definition, not by anyone else's. I think labels really limit, what the human experience really, really is. I don't think that I can just stay within a bound.
Yeah.
Stay within a boundary of, this is my label, this is what I have to stick to. But, maybe that's a label within itself. I don't really know. But then again, some people find comfort with labels because they kind of are all right, well, now I have a place in society.
I belong.
Right. They make themselves a home in that label, and, that's okay, too. Mm-hmm. But personally, I find not having a label helps me sleep better at night, I guess.
That's
I don't
great.
know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like how we started this whole thing by having that, like,
Yeah.
not even, like, clarification, but
Right.
sort of, like, because
Defining.
it's very important.
Yeah.
So, no, like, thanks for saying that. I
Yeah,
really
of course.
appreciate that. But then, yeah, again, we're all just gonna have to trace it back.
Right.
All the way back to, you know, family spectrum, I think.
Yeah, again, my family, no idea. But also, they
Like-
have to know.
Like, no idea? There's no signs of
Okay, well, the thing is, like, I was really good at soccer growing up, so, like, my cousins would always, like, call me a lesbian because I was, like, athletic or whatever, or, like, I don't really have, like, very effeminate qualities. Like, my voice is definitely deeper. Like, I definitely I have, like, a dominant personality. Like, I have personality traits that are associated with men. Therefore, which is, like, fucked up that they even made this association, they used to call me a lesbian all the time. And I was, like, literally, like, 10. Like, I honestly didn't even know I liked women or anyone else other than men when I was 10. Because, again, you're kind of, like, perpetuating the binary in a sense. And, like, the fact that they would associate my personality with a sexuality is so toxic.
I love that you said that.
Yeah. It's so toxic. Like, so that being said, they automatically at that age made me feel like what I am is wrong. As soon as I started realizing that, like, oh, I'm actually really attracted to women, and I'm attracted to, like, androgynous men. Like, they would always be like, oh, Maria likes, like, gay men. Like, they'd always be like that. And I'm just like, it's not that I, like gay men. It's that I like men who look like this. Why is this trait associated with sexuality?
Exactly.
Right? And, like, so then that being said, I don't really tell them anything about my dating life and my, like, sexuality and my sex life because I don't think that, like, they've just made me feel so uncomfortable in the past that, like, I don't really want to talk about it with them. And I almost feel, like, a little bit, like, I feel like I need to protect myself from that because they made me feel like I was so wrong growing up. And it's funny now because my cousins, they're very open about sexuality, especially my one cousin I can think of. We're very close growing up, and she would even, you know, laugh along to jokes like that. Now, today, I know she has gay friends. I don't think she's homophobic at all, but it's more of, like, a personal thing to me. Like, I know you made fun of this in the past when I was a kid, so now I feel like I can't even be myself completely around you. So that's why, in a way, I kind of hope she listens to this and kind of, like, knows that.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to, like, send this to her, but, like, if she happens to listen to it, like, I mean, no hard feelings, but, yeah, definitely a reason why I don't really talk about this part of my life with my family and why my cousin and my aunt are actually coming to visit me in a month, and I actually threatened all my friends. I was like, I am not gay to them. I am a straight woman to them.
I feel like, I personally identify as a straight woman, but then I have, you know, cousins and close family member who I think he's bi, but in the sense that, you know, like, we could discuss that,
Right.
like, on a one-on-one scale, like, on, like, our generation, but then if we had, like, a family gathering,
Right.
like,
I would never.
And they just never.
I rarely go home, but this one time I happened to be home for a family event, and they were like, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? They're talking about a family friend of ours that's my age. So they're like, oh, do you hear about so-and-so? And I was like, what? And they're like bisexual. Like, what is this bisexual thing? Like, you like men and women? Like, pick one. Like, they were calling it sexual deviancy.
Oh my God.
Like, they were saying bisexuals are sexual deviants because they like they can't decide. I'm like, what? There's so much to unpack with that.
Right.
Like, it's bad. And you really think I'm going to go to my family and be like, I'm bisexual after I hear them say shit like that? Like, really? Like, no. Like, obviously, I'm not going to, like, put myself in that situation where they're going to, like, talk shit about people who I fuck.
Yeah.
Like, big fucking deal. I have sex with women. I have sex with anyone. Oh, I'm a deviant because I'll fuck anything? No, because you know what it is? It's not that I'll fuck anything. It's that I fuck who I'm attracted to.
We're gonna have to censor so much.
Oh, no. I didn't realize we had to censor things. I'll stop. It's not that I only have sex with... It's not that I have sex with everyone.
Right.
Like, that's what they're implying. Like, oh, you like men and women? You must like everyone.
You
like,
should
you're
just be
a deviant.
a person.
Right, you're just, like, whoever you're attracted to.
Right, exactly.
Why, like, it's not about, like, anyone. It's like, I don't know. I feel like that's just such a stupid thing.
I know.
Well, they're also, like, 50-year-old men who, like, don't understand.
Right.
But, like, then again, why am I making excuses? Because there's lots of 50-year-old men who do understand. So, like, why am I making excuses for, like, generations of people? When, in reality, people among all generations are accepting. It just depends on the person. So really, I shouldn't be sitting here making excuses for homophobes in my family.
Right.
You know who you are.
But do you wish that your family is more accepting on this, you know?
Like, in a way, if my family were different in other ways, like, maybe I would hope they'd be accepting, but, like, my family and I are not that close. I rarely go home. I really don't need them to, like, I don't know, accept me.
Yeah.
I really don't, like, I don't have a problem keeping my life separate from them, because, like, just for other reasons, it's not even just this, so, like, I guess I guess most people would want their family to accept them, but I'm at a point where, like, I don't even care if they accept me or not. Yeah. Like, it's like, I'd rather protect myself from feeling, like, shame, because that's what they've made me feel in the past, which is, like, and it's funny, because, like, at Emerson, where we go to school, like, we go to Emerson, y'all. Emerson College, you can be anything you want and nobody judges you here. Everybody is extremely accepting and loving, at least from my personal experience. And, like, that's, I guess, why I'm kind of okay with being myself out right now. Right. Even people in high school, like, I would never be out. Like, I knew one bisexual guy. I actually went out with this kid for a week or so before I realized he was an asshole. But besides the point, he was, like, the only bisexual person I really knew, and I was fine with it. I was like, I don't really care. I mean, but again, at the time, I was like, I'm not gonna say anything to anyone, because, like, I just gonna be judged and shamed, because it just wasn't normal where I went to high school. Whereas now it's like, if you're straight, like, you're a minority here.
Am I the minority? Oh my god.
I think you might be the minority here.
Like, in college, I mean, I have a huge group of friends, and I think I'm the only straight.
Yeah, out of all of our friends, Isabel is the only straight person. Which is, like, super weird, because when you think about, like I always say, like, I make gay jokes, like, at school, and, like, I'm allowed to make gay jokes, you know what I mean, because, like, I am myself. Yeah. But, like, if I said that, like, on campus, it's, like, no big deal, everyone laughs and thinks it's, like, hilarious. Where if I made, like, if I was, like, that's so gay, like, in Fenway, or, like, somewhere else in Boston that wasn't campus, like, I think people would be like, oh my god, homophobe, but it's, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, it's just the culture here is so accepting that, like, it's almost like micro community of what the world, like, should be.
Right. Yeah.
But that's just my experience. Again, I'm sure people on this campus can say they've experienced homophobia, and, like, definitely not minimizing that experience for some people, but.
And do you think, like, because Emerson's so being open about it, do you think it helps you in a way of, like, exploring your sexuality?
Honestly, I had no intention of coming out ever. Like, I literally was like, I'll just keep it to myself. Then I got to Emerson, and, like a month in, I was already like, I guess I am bisexual. That's what I was saying at the time. And it's funny because my roommate was like, oh, you are? Okay, I thought you were straight. And I was like, yeah, when I met you 6 months ago at Picture Yourself at Emerson Day, so, like, a pre-college day, she was like, oh, are you straight, whatever? And I was like, yeah, that's hilarious. I like, at the time, she was like, oh, I just really thought you were straight. I was like, no, I think about it, I guess I'm not. And I'm like, no, I knew the whole time. I was just, like, not comfortable until I got to Emerson, until I got to college, you know.
On a campus setting, how do you think people react when some people was like, yeah, fine, whatever, like, cool?
I've never experienced homophobia on my campus. I think Emerson is one of, like, the gayest schools in the country.
We are.
Yeah, so I can't really, it's definitely going to be hard to find a homophobe on our campus, at least maybe, like internalized homophobia is always going to be a thing, but, like, no one's, like, outward on this campus, luckily. I can't say the same about the rest of the world, obviously.
I really, really do appreciate that our school is like that. But sometimes it's like, I think of it, it's like, even when I go home, you know, because I'm from Taiwan, like, in an Asian setting, and we're pretty open. I'm really proud of that. Like, we're, like, the first country who's, like, legalized
I think I read about that.
Same-sex marriage and stuff, but also in a sense that when you're with such respectful and such open community, and you're so comfortable within that, but then when you touched on other like, culture and stuff, you know, like,
you know, it's funny you say that, because, like, whenever I go home, like, on break, I, like, can't be who I really am, in a sense. Like, I can't make the same jokes I make here. Not that I'm constantly making gay jokes, but, like, you know, like, I can't be like, oh, she's hot, or, like, oh, like, I'd bang her, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Not that I talk like that at all, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't say stuff along that realm, because, like, they don't know. And like same situation, like even how I dress is different at home. Like the way I dress here is much more like masculine and like much more like, you know, genuinely clothes I feel comfortable with. Right. I hate even applying gender to my clothes, but in their eyes, they'll be like, oh, you're dressing in male clothes, like man's clothes. Right. It's like, yeah, no, I shop in the men's section. Why is the men's section even a thing? It shouldn't be. I should just be able to buy clothes that I look good and like I'm
feel comfortable.
Right. Yeah. And it's like when I go home, all of those parts of me that are me become suddenly associated with sexuality, and that's not something I'm comfortable with. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they kind of take who I am, and they're like, oh, well, she's doing this, this, and this, so she's gay. And then they're like, shame, gay, bleh. Like, wow, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Whereas here, they're just like, oh, that's Maria. She just likes to wear, like,
there isn't,
clothes.
like, a layer or, like, a tag of you.
Right. There's not, like, an association. It's just who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, a lot of girls here, I guess, I mean, I don't know what everyone identifies as, but a lot of, like, feminine-presenting people here wear men's clothes and nobody questions shit.
Right.
We're like, is she gay? Like, no, like, it's really just normal. Whereas, like, if I dressed like this at home, they'd be like, okay, gay.
Yeah, I feel so, like, related to that. And, like, it's so funny coming from a straight woman, you know, because I also growing up and be like, I was much of, like, a tomboy kind of. Right. I don't even like the term tomboy. It just, I hate that. Right. I hate it.
How about all of these terms we use are stuff our societies at home would say. Yeah. It's not stuff we identify. So when you say tomboy, it's like, your tomboys, it means something else to, like, us than it does to...
And it's like, I grow up and I just, like, I feel more comfortable in, like, pants and stuff. And then it's just that concept of, like, how people, how your family, like, teaches you is like, oh, if you're a woman, if you're a girl, you're supposed to dress this way, you're supposed to act that way as a representation of your gender. Of your
sexuality.
Yes.
Of your gender. Yeah.
And if you don't do that, they're not saying you're wrong, but, like, if you don't do that, then maybe you're something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's like,
just,
why even care?
Right.
Like, I remember when I was a kid, I was I was probably, like, 6, 7 years old. My mom, you know, she shopped for me, and, like, I would only wear skirts when I was, like, 6. I would literally only wear skirts. Like, I would not, like, miss me with shorts. You would never see me in shorts. When I was in 6th grade, I wore, like, men's soccer jerseys and, like, shorts and sneakers every single day, and I dressed very masculine. And then sometimes, like, I would go to the mall and I'd put on, like, a really pretty shirt and, like, just, like, skinny jeans and Uggs. You know what I mean? Like, I never really stuck to
a particular style.
And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, like, I've always felt like many different things. I've always felt like I've been attracted to many different types of people.
Right.
And I've always felt very, like, masculine and feminine simultaneously. And I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that that's something I should be ashamed of. And, like, I hate even associating personality traits to sexuality. But, like, it's so perpetuated at this point, it's kind of hard not to.
Right.
Like, it's kind of hard to be, like, to not be like, oh, well, he's wearing, like, it's almost like he's wearing a rainbow shirt, he must be gay. But it's like, he could just like rainbows.
Oh my God. I went out with a guy this summer, and, like, I literally wear a rainbow. Sorry, I can't talk. Okay. A rainbow stripy shirt.
Right.
And he, like, picked me up, and then we're, like, talking and stuff, and then he was like, just, like, out of nowhere, he was like, are you gay? Are you bi? Because
you were wearing fucking
and
rainbows.
I was like, no, thanks for asking, but why? And he was like, oh, I saw your like, shirt, like, and I was like, what does that have to, I just happen to like this shirt. Right. It's cute.
That's like a microcosm for, like, all sexuality.
It, like, it sticks with you.
It really does. It screws you up in a way. Like, it kind of makes you not be comfortable with yourself.
Right.
And it's like, yourself is all you really have. So the fact that someone could, like, you shouldn't be so negative and hurtful about who people are, because, like, that's gonna stick with them forever.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I worked at a toy store when I was in high school, and we'd be at the register, and, like, a little boy would, like, probably, like, 5, 6 years old, he'd feel that way at 6 years old.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what my family did to me.
Right.
This is getting very deep.
I hope you're, like, okay at this point. Do you need some tissue?
No, okay, no, it's so safe here. I feel so supported. I can be free. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe I'm getting there in certain ways, but I'm like, it's like, the shackles have been broken and I'm just a woman wearing certain things. Like every day I wake up here and I know like I don't have to worry about what I say and what I do and who I'm attracted to, and like that's such an ease for me. And that's why I'm like, honestly, if you're interested in media and you're gay, like this is a really safe place for you to come to school. Like I don't know, I think you'd agree. Even like as a straight woman, we like rip on you all the time. We're always like straight,
they do
we so do, but it's like it's safe, you know what I mean? Like we don't judge you for that.
Exactly.
And it's almost like, imagine we rip on you but we actually mean it. Like that's our lives in the real world, just to put things in perspective. But like, of course we're joking. Like when it's with you, we love you.
And I think like, you know, because we're talking about college anyways, I think we have to talk a little about dating. I just want to hear your perspective of like what dating is to you as a pansexual person, you know, in college.
It's like there's girls out there that I'm like, okay, I would have my eye on, but like that sounded really creepy, but like, you know what I mean? Like I just like, that was just not a good way to put that, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's some people that I'm like, okay, like she's cute, whatever, and I'm like, but like that's where like that trauma of like my family comes in. It's like they make me feel so wrong for feeling this way that I never pursue it because it just feels like I'm wrong. Like it just makes me feel like I like their words when I was little like makes me feel like I can't like really get with people. Really, like I'm attracted to women, but like I don't know if I could have sex with a woman without feeling some type of guilt, so I just stop myself before I even get there, which sucks. It's like that's when I said like I'm living my truth, but am I really? Because like obviously there's a lot of stuff I still need to work through, whereas like men, like it's easy to just have sex with a man because it's like there's no connotation from my childhood holding me back.
It's portrayed as normal, like to have sex with just the men.
So I'm like, oh, should I go for her? Like I don't know. And also like, can we talk about how hard it is to just like know if someone's gay? At least at Emerson, you have like a 75% chance. You know,
you said that.
Yeah.
I, as a straight person, it's so hard for me.
Yeah.
It's because Emerson is so gay, and I love about it. But from a very straight person.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's so interesting because I don't have that much to explore. But for you, or like for people out there who, you know, is bi, pan, it's
a little bit easier on campus to be like, most women here are definitely on some spectrum of sexuality other than straight. And men, I'd say there's definitely more men that don't identify as straight. Yeah. Like one time I thought this kid in my class was gay, so like I asked him to like come do a project with me, but like I obviously wasn't hitting on him at all because I genuinely believed he was not attracted to women. Turns out he is attracted to women, and he never followed up because I think he thought I was flirting with him, and I was just kind of like, I hope he knows that I just really thought he was gay. I mean, and there goes my own biases being at Emerson. It's like, I just assume that because like here, I don't know, it's just like easier, I guess it's easier to assume everyone's gay here, which is like, or gay in some capacity.
It's just so interesting though,
Yeah, it's like, for you as a straight person, it must be so like...
For once, because people are like, it's the...
What's it like to be a minority?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to be a minority. And it's just like, if you think of like maybe other colleges, they don't... I like that. Like, I like that how we are open about it.
Right.
Even though like as a straight woman, it's like so hard for me to find someone to date.
I just haven't dated anyone at Emerson, period. I haven't really found anyone that I like. There's obviously been a few people that I've been like interested in that I've like been friends with, but I've never really like taken it to that place, and like that's something I'm trying to work on this semester. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like we're here now, why not just like speak up and say it? And like I still obviously am working past like, why can't I do that towards someone who isn't a straight man or a bi man?
Right.
It's a lot easier for me to walk up to a guy and be like, hey, wanna hang out? Hey, you cute. A girl and be like, hey, you cute. Like, there's a girl in my class, like a girl in one of my classes that I'm like, in another life, I want to be able to walk up to you and just be like, let's hang out. I don't even know if she's gay, honestly. But, like, then there's a guy in one of my classes that I'm like, I can already see myself in the next, like, week going actual way. It's just easier because, like, society has perpetuated that in my head. And my family has made that a thing in my head. So it's just like, I'm working towards, like, you know, we have a party tonight. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to some ladies.
I will make sure. Not make sure, but, like, I'll be really happy for you.
Thank you. And I hope you find a man tonight to use
God.
for your... Just kidding. Men are canceled. No, I'm kidding.
I guess we're not talking about that.
No, episode. Right. That's another episode.
Yeah, well,
oh, God.
yeah, I think it's just, like, in college, specifically, especially in such a big, like, LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
It really is very different. So, to close this, I just wanted to ask you, since, you know, like, I think you definitely have a lot of, like, insights and, like, thoughts about it. But what would you suggest whoever's listening to this and, you know, who either A, still in the closet, or B, who is afraid to talk about it, or, like, who is still exploring their sexuality, what would you say to them?
I mean, it's all about what you feel is right and what you feel is, like, the safe way to go about it. And when I say safe, I mean not physically, not just only physically safe, but also emotionally safe. I kind of look at it as, like, I wasn't safe in certain places until I came to a place where I am.
Right.
And I'm okay with being myself in certain places and not being myself in others to protect myself and my emotions. And I guess in some cases my safety physically. But there is a lot of ways to find that safety, even if you can't physically remove yourself. Like, online, like, gay Twitter is great if you have that access. Like, most community centers are implementing, like, gay safety programs and stuff like that. And, like, I suggest, like, you have this one life to live. You kind of have to, I don't know, if you want to live your truth and that's your truth, then you should do it as long as you feel comfortable. And I don't think I felt comfortable until I got here, because I genuinely was okay with being in the closet for the rest of my life. Right. Like, I used to sit in my room and be like, I'm gay, but I'm not going to say anything because that's wrong, and I'm okay with that because I don't want anyone to think of me differently. Like, and that is truly the saddest thing I've ever heard, because...
Are you sobbing?
Yeah. I'm crying. No, that's the saddest thing, because, like, I was genuinely about to not be myself for the rest of my life. Of the fear of being judged. Yeah. And that's, to me,
and I think
terrible.
That is a lot of, like, why people are afraid.
Yeah.
In terms of when they're trying to explore their
But, like,
sexuality.
once you find that safety within yourself, within others, like, I mean, it's, like, a freeing feeling. Obviously, I still have lots of ways to go. But, I don't know.
But, like, I know you're working your way, and you're amazing. Like, yeah.
You're amazing.
Thank you. We're all amazing. Just want you to all know we're all amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope, you know, like, as we said, like, Maria is just, like, one example. Or one person.
One perspective.
But whoever's listening, like, and if you need this, if you need the strength, we're here, you know? Yeah, and, like, you're not alone.
Marsuevo on Instagram.
I will tag you on, like...
I'm always a resource.
She's amazing.
Yeah. Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Am I amazing?
We all are.
Oh,
we all should believe in that.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard to say, but...
I just hope that, like, my struggle and, like, my story with this situation, like, can help others be like, oh, yeah, you know, maybe I feel the same way, and, like, resonate. Yeah, I just think that's... Thank you for allowing me to, like, share about my family and stuff.
Yeah, because I definitely think
people can relate.
Exactly. It has to be. And that's why we're all in this together.
Copyright.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for staying for another episode. I hope this was fun. And, you know, I hope Maria... It was fun. You had fun? Okay, cool.
I can confirm I have had fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, thanks again for being in this episode with us, and keep supporting the show. And yeah, we'll come back with more juicy stuff, I guess. Like more. I mean, more.
Maybe tonight I'll finally find someone and we'll come back with a story.
We'll keep the audience updated.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening to this, and. You want to say bye?
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you guys so soon.
Bye.